Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is MegaShadowFist, and welcome back to Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. And when we last left off, we just finished cross-examining Armstrong, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to the real target, the real tiger, if you will. Tears of a Tiger continue. From save point, please. So, we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand? We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Goda picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence that we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot on the kettle black, little Miss Topknot! It's not a topknot! Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright? I can't stand still while I don't have a job to do! I kinda got wound up! No kidding. You gotta have something that you need me to do, pal, anything! Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But, Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? And plus we need the, whatchamacallit, the fingerprints for the, for the ear stuff? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprints analyzed done in an hour? Analysis? You bet, Merity. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? The small bottle? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey! That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal! Actually, that's been gnawing at me too! Small battle given to Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away! Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back! This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys! Alright, phonies. Phony! January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Goda, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me there down there too. What'd you say to me? Nothing! I didn't say nothing, honest! Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent on the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick! Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course! Well, perhaps you could give up your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright? You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick! Well, everyone please return back to their normal positions. Witness testimony, the tiger's alibi. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up and borrow cash from Tinder Linda every single day. Yous wanna check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Well, that was pretty pooping. I think I already found the contradiction already. Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination... Ah! What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you get tangled with a tiger. Huh. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute! That's really not... This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick! Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? The tiger's alibi cross-examination. But before we begin, of course what we're going to need to do is save, of course. Like, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want to save? It was just like case 3, Turnabout Big Top and Justice for All, where like we had to not press. That was so stupid. Like if we pressed something that made Mo make a joke, we would automatically get a penalty. And since at that point I pretty much lost all of my patience meter, it was pretty much in game every time. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got wells lined up to borrow cash from Tinder Lender every single day. Wells lined up to borrow cash from Tinder Lender. Yous want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Okay, so... Do I just want to go ahead and just present evidence, or do I want to press things? I don't know nothing about no murder. Now, this is relevant to the case, I'm assuming, so I can press it. I think. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Tribulations. You's got a big mouth, right? You's trying to say I was on some mob hit? Is that what you're trying to say? Where's your proof then? Evidence, yes, well... For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from loan shark to lawyer, beginner's guide, yeah? Ah, I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigre, very good. Ha! Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, trite? Oh, we are gonna... what should I do? Should we... Okay, so we can either press harder or do nothing at all. I mean, we don't lose very much of a patience meter anyway, so I'm just gonna press harder. Mr. Tigre, what'd you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. Pressing the witness without evidence to back up your attack is prohibited. As I said earlier, the court will impose a penalty for such behavior. Oh well. Ouch, the pain. Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please? My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tinderlinder every single day. Including Armstrong, right? Yous want to check my alibi? Just check. Okay, I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tinderlinder every single day. So I take it you get a lot of customers at your black market loan office. It's tough for the little guys these days. Small businesses ain't feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend. I see. That's very admirable of you, Witness. Yeah, well, Tinderlinder's motto is win through compromise, you know? Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean? Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You's got it? With best friends like you, who needs enemies? Here, let me spell it out for yous all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky. I take what's due in your stupid hair. Yous follow what I'm saying? But I'm not one of your customers. Should I ask more about Tinderlinder or not? We have to press harder on one of these, don't we? I mean, well, we need evidence. And what evidence would we need? We'll just leave it for now. It's too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. I better just focus on gathering information at the moment. Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please? My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I missed- Okay, shut up. Okay, I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year, spent all of my time in my office. All of your time in your office, you say? You know, this is the contradiction that we'll just go ahead and present the evidence and just get it out of the way. Alrighty then. Where was it? All your time in the office, huh? Victim goes from the bag. Oh, there we go. Meet with the tiger. But that doesn't say that it's not at his office, though. So, and the day there's a note saying meet with the tiger. Yeah, that doesn't say that it was specifically at Tribulations, though. Hold on, let's go ahead and press this. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes about everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. There he goes again. What the tiger did all of December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So now what? This will press harder. Mr. Tigre, what'd you want? If you wouldn't mind going into... Okay. It's a dead-end shred and you know it. We've already seen this. Can I please skip past this? No. Oh, no! It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young man. Alrighty then, we got that young kid before. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Goddard, if you could please... Mr. Tigre, the court asks that you add the last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. The day you's talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. Let's go to press first before we present. You didn't know Mr. Glenn Elk? Really? I don't mess with the guppies when there are bigger fish to fry. What'd you say, boss? Who? Me? How's about I hit you with a fat $200,000? Well, I was thinking about purchasing a nice car from Europe. He's seriously considering this. Wow, the tiger's a really good salesman, huh? Yeah, and if I want to sell this case, I need to copy him. How about you hit him with a fat piece of evidence, boss? I wish it was that easy. I got Wells lined up. The day you's talking about, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before. Alrighty then. This is... Where's the calendar? Here it is, Glenn's calendar. How do you feel about that, buddy? Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. Dated December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder! So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad! You's actually not bad! Sorry? I was just messing with yous to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar? Is that what you doing? Okay, Scooby-Doo. So, you're saying that you're claimed to have never seen that kid before, is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is why you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? He never actually met the victim? That's not good. That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I know this guy. The victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tinderlinda. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint, you hear? I said like country, like, yeah, y'all come back round now, you hear? I don't know. I see, that all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's gonna straight to you, right? The victim, Glenn Elg. Alrighty then. Blah blah blah. Let's go ahead and save first, why don't we? Alrighty then, saving. Please do not turn off the powder, because if you do, you will die. That's how Lady Von Karma plays it, of course. Maybe, I don't know. That's how I play. I ain't no liar, never met Mr. Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tinderlinder. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up. I ain't never been to that Tribulations joint, you hear? Alright, let's go with the traditional press everything, press to win tactic. That is very common amongst these games. I think I might have a general idea of what to do, but first we're gonna press everything. I ain't no lie, I never met Glenn Elg. And yet, your name is written on the victim's calendar. Get that horse calendar out of my face! I'm the tiger, not some lame horse, you porcupine! Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast! No, no, no! Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence! Not that they ever would! Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate... Oh, okay. Anyway! They're talking about Phoenix eating the poison, in case you didn't catch on to that. If you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left? Well, I guess we'll explain that in the next episode, I suppose. Awkward pause, yeah, blah, blah.